How's it going, everyone? So today I'm going to show you how to set up a AI-driven web development using Skapi and Cloud Code. So there has been a lot of vibe coding services getting released every month, and we've been using AI assistant tool on daily basis now in our IDEs. I've been recently experimenting on lots of AI tools out there, and I like to share what worked best for me and also what I think the future of web development might look like. Okay, so we're gonna use Cloud Code and Skapi. They go very well because Skapi is a serverless API service that you could do basically everything from your front end project. And Cloud Code, I like Cloud Code is because it's terminal based. And unlike the other AI tools out there, it really runs from your project, local project folder, and it has good understanding of the context of your project folders. So the first thing you might want to do is you want to install Cloud Code in your computer. And to do that, you have to go to Cloud Code website. And if you haven't already, you have to install Node.js first. There's a link over here, so you could go to Node.js website and download the install files and install it. And then you have to copy this bash command and open up your terminal and paste this command in your terminal, and it will install the Cloud Code on your local computer. And then what you got to do is you have to set up your Cloud Code project. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just create a new folder, my project. And inside this project, we have to add certain files that gives Cloud Code on certain direction on how I want my Cloud Code to write code for my project. So since we are going to use Skapi, let's go to Skapi website, it's skapi.com, and go to docs. And from the documentation page, scroll down and you will see this section called for AI developers. So each of these links will take you to this full markdown documentation. So we are going to download this by clicking on right click on this link and then clicking on save link as. And we are going to save this MD file in, for me, I'm going to save it in the documents folder. And then you also have to save this data types documentation and also system prompts. I'll explain that a little bit later. So for now, I'm going to save this link for data types and also this one called system prompts. Save link as, and I'm going to save this in my documents folder. Okay, so I have downloaded these 3 markdown files, and I'm going to put these files into my project folder that I have created. So it was my project folder, so I'm going to drag and drop into this folder. Okay, now I'm going to open up my VS Code and then open up my project folder. Okay, now from my project folder, I can see I have added my markdown file here. And I'm going to rename the system.md file into cloud.md. Okay, so what are these MD files? So Skapi.md file is basically the full context of the API documentation. So Cloud could actually read the whole documentation and figure out how to use a certain method or how to use the Skapi API library. And the Skapi types.md, it basically contains all the data types of the methods, the parameters, or the data types that the front end will receive from the Skapi backend. Okay. And lastly, the cloud.md, this file is the most important file that you need in your Cloud Code project. So this file is basically contains the detailed instruction on how Cloud Code should use Skapi API and how it should build your web applications. It does have some coding guidelines. It has certain style guidelines. And the most important statement that you see here is build a complete web application using static HTML files. This instruction is given intentionally because if you see other services, other vibe coding services, or any language model, and you use that to build a certain web application, it immediately tries to build your application with certain frameworks like React or Vue. And to me, I view that to be very not so necessary, because the nature of these frameworks have very complex folder and file structure. Personally, I think just using the vanilla HTML would be the best choice, and it's much more easier to maintain. It's less likely for your AI models to hallucinate. So that's my take. Okay, so once you have this folder and file set up, all you got to do is open up your terminal from your folder, and you just have to type Claude. You can select yes, and there you go. All you got to do, you just have to give prompts to Claude Code. Since we are going to build a web application, we would need a backend. So for backend, obviously, go to Skapi.com and let's create our new service for our web application in Skapi.com. So go to my service in Skapi, and I will create my new service. Let's try to build some financial budget manager, okay? Budget. Let's go trial for now. Okay, simple as that. We just created a backend for our new web applications. And we are going to build a simple finance tracker, budget manager. So I'm going to prompt build me a finance manager, budget manager. Yeah, just simple as that. And remember, you always have to give Claude your service ID and owner's ID. So Claude Code can use those credentials to connect to your backend. My service ID and owner's ID is, yep. And also make the UI look cool. Yeah, it's pretty rough prompt. But let's see if Claude Code can actually build a working budget manager for us. Yeah, so the Claude Code is listing all these to-dos that it thinks that it needs to do based on the instruction that is given from the cloud.md. And you can see here, it's going to read the full API documentation. It's going to read the Skapi data type documentation and start to implement authentication, HTML structures, and blah, 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 and so on. So it's going to take time, so you could just sit back and grab a coffee, and I'll be back when the Claude Code finishes its work. Okay, I'm back, and it seems that the Claude Code has done its work, and it's saying the application is ready to use. Just open index.html from the folder. So immediately we could just see there are some files that Claude Code have created, and it's plain HTML and JavaScript. So if something goes wrong, you could always review the code and make some tweaks on your projects. But for now, let's see if it works properly by opening up this index.html by just double clicking this index.html file in our project folder. All right, cool. So I guess I need to sign up first. My name and my email. Okay, it's successful, and wow, this is what I see, and this is what Claude Code built me from just very rough one-line prompt that I gave to Claude. So let's see if I could add anything. I will add guitar amount Let's add some expense. Add expense. Okay. Let's add another one. Cat food. I don't know. $5. Shopping. Okay. So it seems it's working, and the login is working, and this should have been saved in our backend. So let's see if this list still exists if I refresh the page. Okay, I refreshed and it's still there. I could log out. I could log back in and see if my budget list stays in my account. Okay, there it is. I could delete. Okay, there's some error loading expenses. Okay, there's some glitch there. So whenever you have some glitch, you could always go back to Claude and ask Claude to fix the error. But in general, it's very impressive that it gave me this whole application, nice looking application, based on just very rough one-liner prompt that I gave to Claude. So yeah, this might be the future of the web development. It has some glitches, but I do think these AI assistant or these coding models will always improve. When we're doing this type of web development, HTML is way to go, and using a serverless API like Skapi is way to go, and also Cloud Code, or recently I've heard that there's a Quen code. In ChatGPT you have Codex. So all of these are really great actually. So I do think in future of web development, more and more people will use this kind of a combo to build their own applications. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope it helped. If it was helpful for you, please like and subscribe the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.